it's not Gilligan's Island. It is Garbage Island. My credibility on this subject rests in the fact that I've researched the topic and have consulted the experts who have spent their life's work consulting factual evidence, consulting their own personal experiences, and getting out there in the field to actually experiment. What do you guys see when you look here? Garbage, right? But there's a particular part of the garbage that I'm going to focus on today. And it's the reason why Garbage Island has come into existence. Allow me to tell you first off that Garbage Island is formed because of plastics. Plastics are the reason that Garbage Island is there. And they are the main problem. The other reason that, the reason why plastics are important there is that they don't biodegrade. So in not biodegrading, they're able to stick around. They don't really go anywhere. Now the other reason is what are called gyres, and that's just a fancy way of saying a little circle, like a gyroscope, if you want to think about it that way. So there's several within the world's oceans that you can see. The one we're going to be focusing on today is the North Pacific gyre. Since that's the one closest to us, it's the most relevant. But there are many of these kind of garbage islands which are floating plastic all throughout the world. Now, not all plastics float, but the ones that do just accumulate in these gyres that I've shown you. And some of the consequences of them coming about are impact to wildlife. So now that I've told you a little bit about the origins of Garbage Island and where that comes from, why it's come into existence, I want to talk about some of the implications that you find as a result of Garbage Island. So, both on the large scale, I mean, this he could look a little worse probably, but this is plastic here that has constricted the growth of that animal there. This isn't an actual bear, just so you guys don't worry. That's a teddy bear. But what I want to introduce you to here is on the microscopic level. You might say, I've never seen anything like that, but what we're looking at there is plankton, which is one of the smallest parts of the food chain within the oceanic marine world. The other thing to consider here when we talk about the gyres is that they're sort of like oceanic deserts. There's not a lot of impact that they're going to be forming in their particular spots. For one, they don't tend to be traveled through because oceanic currents, as you can see with those arrows, kind of miss it altogether. You have a lot of fish all around them, but there's not a lot of fish and not a lot of wildlife right in the middle because it's very low in life forms. So immediately it doesn't really become much of a problem, really, because it's only on the fringes that you actually have stuff like you saw going on with the animals suffering. Now, the reason I bring this up is to draw awareness to it. I don't know if you guys had heard of this Garbage Island or not, but what I wanted to tell you is that they're also degrading. Those plastic bottles will photodegrade. They'll break down into little pieces and become toxic sponges. So even though what you saw with the animals looked atrocious, the poisoning that is going to be for the future is even worse. Not to be a total downer, I do want to provide a bright side. My purpose was to inform you about Garbage Island, how it came to existence, some of its real implications, and what it means for the future with poisoning through toxicity. But just like Gilligan's Island always ended on a bright note, I want to do the same. So join me in recycling. It's good for planet Earth. Just think about World Services here in Crestmont College.